Hi, welcome back. We're going to write a program that allows the user to enter two numbers and then both adds and multiplies them and displays the result. But before we do that, we have a missing piece here. We don't know how to get user input except from the command line, and we could do that, and there are ways to convert those strings that the user inputs at the command line into numbers of whatever format we want. But we would rather prompt the user to enter the first number and the second number, or two numbers separated by a comma, or something like that. Now C has a great number, let's say hundreds of functions in its standard libraries. So what I've done is I've given you a link in Unit 3, and this will be in the code folder, called gcclink.html. And you can just double click this link. It will open up this very simple page, and then you can click the link here, GCC function list, and this will take you to GNU.org's page at manual HTML code functionindex.html. Now, this may seem overwhelming, but first of all, the function names are fairly self-explanatory, and then there's also a list here that shows that will get you a link to other functions of the same sort of thing. So let's just go down here, and what you should do is first of all read through this, and any function that you don't know what it does, you can go ahead and click the function name and see what it does, or you might go ahead and, for example, functions on finding absolute value, you could click here, and this would give you a list of arithmetic functions and so forth. So you can see here there's an integer absolute, there's a long abs, there's a long absolute, maximum integer as an absolute, and so forth. So there are many functions. Now I'm going to shortcut here right down to the one we're looking for. What we want to do is get formatted input from the user, and I will tell you that there is a function called scanf that is kind of the input version of printf. So there are also we can get the link to formatted input functions, but let's just go straight to scanf. So first of all, we can see that here we have formatted input functions, and we have the function scanf. The scanf function reads formatted input from the stream standard in, that is the console, under control of the template using the string template. Template is the same kind of format string that we use in printf. The optional arguments are pointers to the places, they are pointers to the places which receive the resulting values. So now you know why we have been talking about pointers so much. You send them, if you want strings, you send this function char star pointers. If you want integers, you send that int star type pointers, and so forth. The return value is the number of successful assignments. So this tells you everything you need to know, except for one thing: where or what header file is scanf located in. What do you need to include to get scanf? Well, it turns out the prototypes for all of these functions are in the header file stdio, so we really don't need to include anything other than stdio. Now, as you're looking for these functions, you will find, for instance, that if you were interested in some string function, for instance, and they all start with str, by the way, like strcat, this takes two strings and concatenates them. So strcat, for instance, and all of these str functions are in a header file. Here it is. The str and mem, really working with a string in memory and working with contiguous memory, is kind of the same thing. But the str and mem functions are declared in the header file string.h, while the wstr and wmem functions are declared in the file wcar.h. So that's how you find out what you need to include for a particular function. So now we know about scanf, and we're going to begin writing our program.